Hi writers, my name is Gina Cole Rivers. I'm the founder of Simply Stylus writing software, which is an easy to use writing software that allows you to easily outline, organize, and write your novel. I'm also the author of 2 psychological horror novels, Blackwater Tales The Unwanted and Blackwater Tales The Secret Keepers, which you can find links to on my website at www.ginacolerivers.com. Welcome to one of my favorite months, my favorite because it hosts one of my favorite holidays, Halloween. As most of you know, my favorite genre of book and film is horror, always has been. I've devoured some fantastically frightening horror in my years. Despite the red-headed stepchild reputation that horror has of genres, it is one of the most powerful genres because fear is one of the most potent and telling emotions. The problem is that most horror stories fail to inspire genuine fear in their audiences, which is the emotion that is needed to make the deep connection. So let's go over some quick tips for writing great horror fiction. First, don't think that horror automatically equals gore. While blood and guts may occasionally be necessary in a horror story, this should not be an automatic or a go-to, and in my opinion, should be used kind of sparingly, unless you are writing a slasher type of subgenre deal. I absolutely detest blood and guts movies. Some people like them, and that is fine. There is absolutely and positively a place for those types of movies and that type of fiction writing, but it's just not necessarily something that I love, and the feature has little to do with making a good horror story. I'm not saying that there isn't a place for it, again, but for the most part, an overload of blood and guts makes me more want to throw up than lock my door. Chills and thrills are great, but plot is everything. Despite what many think, horror can have a fascinating and deep plot, and all good horrors do. Chills and thrills are great, but they get boring after a while, and if there's nothing to keep me emotionally connected to the story, I'm just not going to stay plugged in. Jump scares are just the topping, but a strong plot is the meat. Last, avoid always making your villain a boogeyman or a stranger. Boogeymen and strangers are great for horror fiction, horror films, and all that. I love them, but don't underestimate the power of bringing your villain a little bit closer to home. Some of the most chilling horror stories can be watched on the nightly news, and they are rarely the work of boogeymen, aliens, or strangers. Write horror that is meaningful. Make the hair on the back of people's necks stand up. Make them put down their book and go and check out that creaking noise in the kitchen. Fill them with the unmistakable adrenaline pump of raw fear, and they will keep coming back. So let's recap quickly. Blood and guts do not necessarily equal horror. A good story must have more than chills and thrills. It must have a strong plot. Try making your villain someone other than a stranger or a boogeyman by bringing your villain closer to home. If you have enjoyed this video, please like, comment, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff. If you are ready to start your writing journey, head on over to www.simplystylus.com. If you want to stay in this Simply Writing loop, snag your spot on our email list and immediately download your copy of writing compelling book blurbs that make readers choose your book. You can also join our Simply Writing Facebook group, which is a supportive community of other writers, and there you can get a checklist for creating killer book titles. Thank you so much. Your story starts here.